ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's get started. Our first thing we have is our vocabulary, our cross product. You guys have done cross product before. All it is cross multiplying. Okay? You guys know that? That's what, well, you know what product is. Okay, so the definition says the product of two numbers on the diagonal when comparing two ratios. That's what it means. It means cross multiply. Okay? No big deal. Now, we're going to be using cross multiplying today to solve most of your problems. Let's take a look at the first example. It talks about a fulcrum. Okay, it says unequal masses will not balance on a fulcrum if they are an equal distance from it. Okay, one side will go up and the other side will go down. Unequal masses will balance when the following proportion is true. And it gives us this almost a formula right here. Okay, now this is important because that's the formula that you're going to have to use in order to solve question number 19 on your homework. Now, what does it mean? Well, look, it shows you right here. Your mass 1 is right there, your length 1 is right there, your mass 2 is right there, and your length 2 is right there. Okay, so all we would have to do, those would be numbers, okay, and you substitute your numbers in there, and then we solve the proportion. Yes, sir? Okay. Anyways, plug in the numbers into your formula here, and I'll show you how to do that whenever we get to our last example today. All right, let's take a look at the first example here. It says, tell whether the ratios are proportional. Basically, remember, proportional means equal. So what it's asking us is, are these things equal? Okay? Well, to do that, we can cross multiply, is what they're doing. Okay? 15 times 4 is 60. 6 times 10 is 60. Well, since the product of those two are the same, that means that my two fractions here are proportional. And your answer would be yes? The answer would be yes. Yes, because that's what it's asking you. On the top section of your homework, it's a simple yes or no type answer. Okay? Let's take a look at our next example on your notes here. This one is a little bit more difficult because it's asking us to find a missing number here. Okay? We're trying to find x. Now, somebody first class says, well, how do you know how to set these guys up? Okay? Well, whenever you're setting up proportions like this, what you have to do is you have to put all of the same items on the top or the bottom. When I say same items, I'm actually talking about, like, on this one, if you notice, money is on top. Okay? Your dollars are on top, and the items are on bottom. So when you set that up, if this problem said, like, if Bob bought 3 items for $48, how much would he have to pay for 15 items? Well, you put all your dollars on top, all your items on bottom. That will get you your answer. Okay? All right, let's talk about how to actually solve this one. What we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply the two numbers that I have that are across from each other, which in this case is going to be 48 and 15. Okay? Cross multiply those guys together. Then, once we have our answer, we're going to divide by the number outside of my loop there. Now, 15 times 48 is, I don't even know, 720. Okay, so when we get that, we get 720. Okay, then I have to divide by 3. Well, what's 720 divided by 3? That's right, 240. Now, that's all you have to do. Cross, multiply, divide. If you can remember that, you should be able to solve these proportions. Now, these are going to be exactly how you solve number 9 through number 16 on your worksheet. Okay? But that's all you have to do. Cross, multiply, and divide. Yes, ma'am. Well, yeah, I mean, you can also look on this one, and if you notice we have 3 right here, and then we have 15 over here. Well, we know that 3 times 5 is 15, right? So if we did 48 times 5, that would also give us the same answer. That would give us 240. Okay? Yes, that's the way it would certainly work. There's a bunch of different ways you could do this. It doesn't always work out that nice, though. I mean, like, what if this was over here was like 4? Well, yeah, we could multiply 3 times a number to get it to be 4, but it's a little bit, it's a little bit more difficult to recognize that right off the bat. But yeah, certainly on this one, it's easy to see, 3 times 5 equals 15. 48 times 5 gives me 240. Okay? It won't always be that easy now. But that's a good question, though, and a good observation. All right, let's take a look at our next one. Good. The review, number 1 right here. Whenever we're trying to determine if these guys are proportional, what does proportional mean? Yeah, equal. Okay? Another way you can do this, if you don't want to cross multiply, okay, we can simplify these guys. Look, what is 16 and 14? 16 over 14, what does that simplify to? Well, yeah, I know that 2 goes in both those, so that might be like 8 over 7. Now, 48 over 42, I know that, yeah, 6 goes into both of those. So 48 divided by 6 is 8, and 42 divided by 6 is 7. Well, does 8 sevenths equal 8 sevenths? Yeah. And that is actually going to be a little bit easier probably than doing 42 times 16 and 48 times 14, because those are big numbers. Okay? Yeah, number 1, yeah, that would be a yes. Those are proportional. Now, number 2, again, we can cross multiply on this one, but if you look at it, look, the first fraction, 40 over 15, that's an improper fraction. It means it has to be bigger than 1. Our next fraction is 3/4, smaller than 1. I know they don't equal each other. It's that simple. Okay? But if we cross multiply those, 15 times 3 is 45. 40 times 4 is 160. Obviously, don't equal each other. Easy. Okay? All right, number 3. We've got to cross multiply and divide. Okay, what is 45 times 12? Well, I don't know. What is 45 times 12? 540. Okay, so we get 540. Then we're going to have to divide that by our number outside our loop, which is 18. Which is going to give us 30. Okay, so on this one, we know that n is going to equal 30. No. It's that simple. Okay, you could, however, probably on this one reduce if you wanted to. You could say, 9 goes into 45 5 times, 9 goes into 18, 2 times, 12 times 5 gives you 60. 60 divided by 2 gives you 30. You get the same answer. Okay. The same way like here on number 4, if you wanted to. I know that 3 goes in both those, so we could make that, 2/3? Now I can cross multiply 2 times 24. Yeah, gives us 48. Divided by 3 gives you, 16. So I know on that one that n is going to equal 16. Okay, pretty simple. But that's how you solve those. Remember, cross, multiply, divide, that'll give you your answer. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Number 5, this one right here, that's our Fulcrum question. What was our formula for solving this Fulcrum proportion that you guys wrote down on our first one? What was it? Mass 1 over length 2. There we go. So we have mass 1 over length 2 equals mass 2 over length 1. Okay? So once we can plug all those values in there, give us our answer. Now I'm going to draw a little thing over here to help me keep it straight, because it says 2 weights are balanced on a fulcrum if a 6-pound weight is positioned 1.5 feet from the fulcrum. So we're going to have our weight over here that's 6 pounds, and I'm going to say this is 1.5 feet from our fulcrum. At what distance from the fulcrum must an 18-pound, I'll put my 18-pound over here, distance be? So it's asking us, this is what it's asking us right here. That's what we're trying to find. Okay, so we can make this side over here our number 1, and this side over here our number 2. Okay, so our mass 1 would be, let's say, 6. Our length 2, what is our length 2? Yeah, we don't know. That's our variable right there. That's what we're trying to find. And that's going to be equal to, what is our mass 2? Yeah, 18. And what is our length 1? Yeah, 1.5. Okay, now we do our cross multiplying and dividing. Okay, 6 times 1.5 gives me, what, 9. Okay, so then I'm going to have 9 divided by 18. What is 9 divided by 18 going to give me? No.
Oh, wait. Bryson must be able to
0.5. It's going to give us half. Okay, so the distance from the fulcrum right here over to the weight is going to be half a foot. That's it. All right, questions on that? No?